I've probably nearly lost the shop minimum 3 times, possibly up to 5 times over the years.
I'm Robin Johnson, this is Yours for the Making, and I'm joined by Alexis Camburn from Two Snakes Tattoo.
I get called disgusting a lot. I hear comments, I get looked at in disgust a lot, which is why I explain to people, your life will change. You may think, I don't care, it's fine, the world's changed. You go in for that bank interview to try and get your mortgage, you go and pick up your kids from school at the parents' evening, and people will judge you because it used to be sailors and criminals back in the day.
This show tells the story of the makers, the people that create things, whether it's in wood or metal, whether they're artists or musicians or chefs. It doesn't matter. I'm going to tell their story.
Don't just go to your local cheap tattoo around the corner. You have the world at your fingertips here now, and there are some incredible people. And yeah, it's forever. Get stunning work on you forever and be proud to show it off.
I'm Robin Johnson, this is Yours for the Making, and I'm joined by Alexis Camburn from Two Snakes Tattoo. Now, you've got probably the best tattoo parlour in Hastings, well, definitely the best tattoo parlour in Hastings, down in Trinity Street in Hastings.
Yeah.
How did you get started?
I was in Bexhill at the time. I was doing graffiti quite a lot and just drawing in my spare time. And a friend suggested, why don't you go and ask for an apprenticeship? At that time, there was probably only one shop per town.
Really?
Maybe a handful of women in Sussex as well that did it. I must have been about, I think, 18, 19 possibly. Went in, it was a father and son business up in Sidley.
Which one was that then? The Black
Pearl.
Pearl? Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
I've been tattooing 23 years next month.
Wow.
So a long time ago. I just went in, asked for an apprenticeship, and they started me on piercing first because they needed a female, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah, obviously. So, some women prefer women to be more comfortable, especially with intimate piercings. And then the father, Vince, just let me tattoo him in spare time, and it went from there.
And did you have tattoos yourself?
I did at that point, yeah. I think my first one was illegally at 17, but at a very reputable place in Brighton. Right. Who I actually ended up working with in the future at Holy Cow, and the gentleman sadly has passed away. But we worked together for a few years, so that was kind of cool. Came back around.
Do you know, that's one thing about the tattoo community is it's a real tight knit community, isn't it? Now
It's amazing.
It's you've got a load of different events. Everyone in tattooing seems to know everybody else, but it also seems there's like different levels, different echelons of tattooing. Yes.
Obviously quality comes into that. I've worked very hard over the years to do guest spots, and you would essentially, a lot of my tattoos are for networking reasons. So I would find an artist that I really like, I would go and get tattooed by them, meet them, then they would come and work at my studio, I would go and work at their studio. And then you get introduced to people, opportunities come up. Oh, you should go and guest at this shop. They're my friends. And then all of a sudden I'm over in Rotterdam and guesting with them and all over the world. And then you meet people that will get you into conventions. We've worked Hong Kong, Portugal, all over the place. And we've recently just done one last weekend in Bristol. Which is our favourite one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What separates that from other ones then?
It's cheap to get in.
Right.
So people will get tattooed. So I will make my money back for the booth and the travel, all my expenses.
So you're actually tattooing at the convention?
Yeah, we tattoo. Wow. And you get a small booth each. I normally take quite a few of us from the shop, and we have a big row, and then customers will come up, you will have your drawings out so you can showcase your work at these events. And yeah, I've got regular customers that come to that one. It's cheap to get in, so they will spend more money on getting tattooed. There's some entertainment, but not much. So really, they're just there to get tattooed. which is perfect for us. Some of the other ones, they are amazing and they've got incredible shows, all sorts of bands and things that go on. And it is an event. Maybe you don't want to get tattooed. Maybe you just want to have a look and enjoy the whole experience. So that works really well for them. Financially, this one is brilliant. And it's a catch up for everyone. We get to see all of our other fellow tattoo friends that we don't get to see. But normally it's every year. We'll just meet up there. And it's really good fun. Bristol's really cool as well as a city.
It reminds me of Brighton quite a lot. It's that same sort of vibe, isn't it?
But much better.
Yeah.
I don't like Brighton.
I love Brighton, but it's changed so much over the years.
It has.
It used to be the place. I mean, especially growing up here, you get to sort of 15 and you think, I can go to Brighton now.
Yes.
And it was like the shining lights of the big city nearby. And it felt like it had everything going for it. I mean, I lived there for a few years, and it was really nice.
True.
Yeah, it was
I did
good
too.
fun. Yeah, but it's fun when you're that sort of. We were talking about it earlier, like your formative years when you living somewhere with your mates and stuff, and maybe when you got a job, you can just about pay your own rent and stuff like that. You have those formative years. Somewhere like Brighton at that time was really great. Yeah. When we go back there now, it just feels like. What was cool about Brighton was that there's so many independent shops, music venues, places like that, and still a few, but you walk down the South Lanes and it's all the independent shops have been replaced by multinational or national stores that look like they're an independent shop, but it's like, the White Company or Fat Face, and you think, that used to be a record shop there where I used to buy records. Oh, that was an art shop. Yeah. But now it's like, I don't know, selling bagels or bubble tea or whatever, and it feels like it's lost a bit of that.
You have to I feel if you go there's not much else to do but either drink, eat or shop. It is just consumerism. I feel. Yeah. In the tattoo world, in Brighton, there's a shop nearly on every street now. Yeah. It's quite crazy. I don't know how everybody survives. They do.
But in the summer, I'll tell you how they survive, because when you walk down the street in Brighton, I think it's rarer to see people with no tattoos than it is to see people absolutely covered in them. So
that's true.
I think there's a good market for it over there.
That's true.
And Bristol's kind of the same, actually, to a certain extent.
It's a very creative city. I really enjoy the river there. When we've worked all day, we'll all go and get some food and just sit by the river afterwards, which is really cool. It's quite a young, diverse city. So yeah, I agree. What Brighton used to be, definitely.
And I think tattoos is one of those things that when we were growing up, not many people had tattoos, or they might have one on their arm up here where the BCG scar is or something like that. But or what's a classic one, a little one on the lower back or something like that. But nowadays, more and more recently, it's become more of a, I don't know if it's a trend or a fashion, but people are completely covered in tattoos now, more and more so.
Yeah, very much. I think the first time I noticed it being more acceptable was when staff in Sainsbury's sleeves were up, and that shocked me because you weren't allowed to have your...
How dare you?
I know, you couldn't have your tattoos on show. I think maybe the internet culture, TV, footballers, famous people starting to have them really changed things as well. I worked out this morning I started tattooing when we didn't have the internet, which is mind-blowing now. Hand stenciling, hand drawing, everything. No stencil machines, anything. So yeah, that was quite an interesting thought.
So when you talk about hand drawing stuff, my limited knowledge, I haven't got any tattoos because, as you know, I'm terrified of needles, but my limited knowledge I'd have to be out cold for a long time to get any kind of tattoo anywhere near my body. I'd love them. I really appreciate how they look. I think they look incredible. And if I wasn't so scared, I'd definitely be covered. Yeah. But unfortunately, I'd just pass out, and you'd have to do it whilst I was still passed out. Because if I woke up again, I'd just go again.
You wriggle too much when you pass out.
Oh, but I'd wriggle when I woke up as well. I couldn't do it. No chance.
I don't think I'd want to tattoo you then.
No. I'd be the worst. I literally would be the worst. But I do really like them. I like how they look. I like how creativity it can be sort of passed from one person to another permanently as well. And that's the great thing about them. They're permanent, but also kind of, for me, kind of worrying because I change my mind like the wind. So
yeah, a lot of people do.
But how do people get over that?
They have their first one, and once they realise that essentially disappears. You don't think about it after a while, and it just becomes a part of you. The more you have, the less you care, I think. Some people go straight in for very meaningful tattoos, and others know that they want a whole body of a certain design that looks aesthetically incredible. So they will go straight into that, which I admire so much, knowing that you want that. Because a lot of the time when you do the little tester ones, you end up using up valuable space that you could have done something really cool with, which is where we come into cover-up territory as well.
I tell you that, I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
I suppose your canvas, you got your limited
Like this.
canvas.
So essentially, these were networking ones to meet the artist. Conventions, traveling. I've worn them a while. I'm not really into them that much. They're cool, but I've now decided that instead of blacking out my arm there's no way you could cover these up. I wanted a change. There's a tattooer called Curly who is incredible. He's the generation above me. He's in Oxford. He specialises in line work, tattoos all the tattooers, and this is essentially a cover-up, but you can still see them. So you've got 2 layers, which is kind of
some
cool.
aren't covered. You've got one there that's not covered.
I know, I really liked that. There's one under there as well. They were just kind of, again, meaningful to me. So I kept those ones. I've got a few meaningful ones, but others were the experience, the place I was at, or something stupid, or something that made me laugh, that I just want to carry around with me.
That's what's mad though, is when you explain about a networking tattoo.
Yeah.
You've got something permanent on your skin that you got put on there to network.
Yeah. I've run out of ideas.
That's why.
I had everything that I wanted. And then you just look through that artist's work, and it's something that they really wanted to do. So just picked out of their designs.
And is that more often than not the way that it works? Someone will come to you and look through your book and go, oh, I love that one. Can I have that? Or they'll know of your work and go, that one. Or is it the other way? Because I always imagined growing up, you'd go to a tattoo artist and say, can I have this, please? And then they,
It's very 50-50. The old school way would have been just coming in and picking one. Like you say, the bottom back ones, which are actually coming back around now. We're doing those on younger people, which again is like, oh my God, I remember this. Little devils, things like Chinese symbols. You would go and pick. I don't think
Playboy
bunnies.
mask,
yes, brilliant, classic. Again, coming back around. I don't think people knew that they could get more artistic with it. Again, I think with the internet, you can see people doing realism and all the kinds of styles that you didn't know were available before, other than in magazines. It's so impressive what you can have tattooed on you now. Amazing. We do at the studio invite guest artists to come and work, because a lot of people won't travel to get tattooed, or they won't know about them. So if I can introduce them into the shop, hey, we've got this guy, he does this incredible thing. Someone might see it and be like, oh my God, I really want that style, and come and get it. Some people know exactly what they want. Again, it could be quite important to them, and they'll come and ask. I'll suggest which artist would be better for them, because my studio, it's a family, so I always refer to it as a we. We have lots of artists that do specialise in different styles, and they also can do everything. I grew up in a street shop. A lot of my artists did. So we can all do script. We can all do general tattoos that anybody would like, and then we go into our specialist areas. So.
And about 50-50, you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's quite hard to gauge. Some people, know exactly what they want, and they've thought about it for a long time. Others just go in on a whim.
On a hen do or stag do.
That happens. That does
Really?
happen, yeah.
Wow.
Got to be able to write your name on the consent form, not too drunk, no.
And when people want a tattoo from you, you've got your own kind of style. haven't you?
Yeah, I've gone through different styles over the years. I've settled into traditional tattooing more so. I really enjoy it. I've met some incredible people in that world.
When you say traditional tattooing, what do you mean?
Very much what I have on my arm, old school, bold lines, simple colours, just a cool tattoo, really, to not go into any depth of it. A lot of people say, "Oh, just a banger." Yeah, I don't know how to describe it really. Yeah,
just something that's bold and looks, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, rather than lines and some sort of tribal or some kind of people, you know, like a Maori tattoo or something like that, you know.
Yeah, we can't tattoo Maori because it's a lot of family history. There's a lot of meaning to it, which obviously as not in that culture, we don't know what we're doing and we don't want to offend. We do more Polynesian because it can be a lot more about nature than it would be about family and culture. So again, there are so many rules that good tattooers will learn and care about and know about. In Japanese art, you can't mix seasons. It's very specific the way that you have to tattoo. You have a background, a subject matter. There's essentially 3 to a party. We would describe it as. Good tattooers will study this and understand this, and that. Again, with my studio is something that I'm very proud to bring to the town, is that we work really hard to learn everything as it should be. We're not just going to take your money. If I can't do it or well enough, or I'm not confident, or I know someone that will do it better, I will recommend, because I want you to have the best tattoo that you could possibly have. And I want to know what I'm doing properly before I do that.
We do the same though. If someone come to us and said, "Oh, you know, I've got this space, I want a kitchen that's painted MDF or something," I'd put them onto one of like 10 people that I know that would be probably better and definitely cheaper than us and fit them in a lot quicker. Yeah. Whereas when people come to us, they kind of know what we do and they know what they want is something that we do and we specialise in. Yeah. And it's nice to build those relationships up. And actually, we've had loads of work off the back of me sending customers to other people to get a kitchen done or a window done. Then they come back to us when they say, "Oh, actually, you know what? I've opened a bar. Can you do that for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, great."
Brilliant.
All day long.
Yeah, because they trust that you know what you're doing and you've actually given them the best advice possible rather than just take their money. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it works because you're being honest, you're being genuine, and you're showing that you've got their interests ahead of your own interests, which is really important. I think that's how all business should be done, really, isn't it?
Especially when it's permanent.
Well,
and on show.
you can take furniture out whenever you want, I suppose. And is that something that you worry about sometimes? That you've got a lot of pressure because you're putting something on someone's skin that is going to be permanent. Do you ever think, "Oh goodness, I don't," if someone came to you and said, "Oh look, can you put this on me?" and it's like, I don't know, someone's face or something, do you think, really?
Something like that, I would say no, and again recommend them to a specialist in realism, which we have people that guessed. Now it's more of a case of if the idea needs kind of manipulating into something better, so they have a better tattoo. The problem that we come up against is I'm tattooing a person who moves, who feels pain, who might not be having a good day, who, will suddenly move, jump, the skin might bleed too much. The skin might be too textured. People that work outside, obviously, they've got a thicker skin. Every single skin texture, that first line that you do, that will tell you how the rest of the tattoo is going to go. So every single one, you don't know until you do that first line.
Wow. How do you work that out in terms of time? If you're charging, £50 for a small tattoo or whatever, and someone comes in and they're like a scaffolder and they got leathery skin and they want it there or something, and it's going to take twice as long, isn't it, if it's really thick?
It sometimes can, and you sometimes can run over. definitely. A lot of the time, if you can meet the person first, that will help. You can kind of just guess straight away that you might need a little bit longer. I do tend to just book, say, an extra half an hour, excuse me, on every appointment. A lot of the time, stenciling can take time. Symmetrical things, certain body parts, the stencil might not go on for the first, sometimes even 10 times. It can go wrong.
What do you mean the stencil won't go on?
Getting it correctly balanced or in the right space, the right size. Sometimes you can put something on, it doesn't work. And then if you're doing a back piece, then you have to do it. You have to make the whole stencil again. So we tend to leave enough time for problems.
And can you draw stuff on the computer and print it out now and as a stencil
You
print
can
out?
do. People work a lot on iPads.
Right.
A lot of tattooers absolutely will not do that. Believe that it is more of a natural drawing form. Some people draw straight onto the skin. That's how they work. A lot of things like Japanese, a lot of sleeves, projects, you would draw straight onto that person so that it fits the shape of the body.
How would you draw it on? Like a biro?
Pens, yeah, you have special, so the stencil that we make is made of carbon, so you have carbon pens because it just stays on the skin longer, so that obviously you have to work in a specific way that your hands aren't rubbing all the stencils off as you go. That is very high pressure.
Do you know what? Actually, when I'm sketching and stuff, when I finish, that finger and all the way down will be completely covered in graphite if I'm sketching something out because I'm really lazy and I rest my hand on it.
Yeah.
I guess you can't do that.
Cannot do that.
So how do you...
You have to work from a specific direction.
But can you rest your hand on, or are you kind of suspended up here?
It depends how you're working. You can rest. You would start by most things. You would start in the bottom corner, so that the hand that you're resting works upwards, so it never rests on it.
So you are resting the hand on whilst you're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Sometimes you can't. Body areas you can't. If you're doing things like mandalas, which are repetitive things from the centre, it's easier to start from the middle, and then you're just fingertips, essentially, trying not to rub in. And it's hot. People are sweating. So again, things can go horribly wrong where you lose the stencil, have to either stick it back on, or you can let them heal and try again. Yeah, it doesn't happen often, but sometimes. But I have a really experienced team and everyone is there for each other. We all work in an open space. I like the community. we can join in other people's conversations and things, but everyone is there to help each other. So if I'm having trouble with a stencil, even 23 years in, my stencil might not work very well. I might not be able to get it symmetrical first time. Someone with fresh eyes that isn't invested in the tattoo that I'm doing will come along and just do it straight away. Easy. You're like, oh, brilliant. It works well. I trust everyone in there.
And what's the equipment that you're using? I've seen it. I've seen loads of photos of you doing it. It looks like some kind of electric gun thing.
So you have a coil machine. I use those. I'm very old school. I have my machines that I like, and I will continually use. I know how to fix them when they go wrong mid tattoo. So I trust them. Nowadays, I haven't even picked one up because partly I don't want to like it too much. They have pens, which...
What, literally like a pen?
They look like, we call them dildos. They look like dildos.
What, that big and...
They're quite big. They're light. I think they're really good for fine line work.
Okay.
I don't do that personally, so I like a heavier hitter. You can get rotary machines. All it's changing with the times, very much so.
So it's not just one thing. There's a whole range of different.
There's a whole range now
of pain.
Yeah. And then you've obviously got hand poke. So you're just working with the needle and you're pushing it in the skin by hand. So there's no machines at all. This can be slower, but it can be more gentle. You can get a lot more fine line work. I have a lady at the shop that does that.
Really?
Indigo Forever. Yeah, Beth, she specifically does hand poke tattoos. yeah, a lot of my guys do use the pens. There's a few of us that are stuck in our old ways, and we love the coils.
Like
and
a
we
sewing
won't leave.
machine, as you're going on it.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in Indonesia, I watched someone have a handmade tattoo, but it wasn't like they were doing it by hand. It was like a bamboo arm with a needle, and he was like hitting the end of it.
Yeah.
And I was in my early 20s. I was like super macho in the queue to get one done. It's like, yeah, this looks wicked. And then when I see this guy with basically what looked like a bamboo stick with a needle at the end of it, and he was just kind of whacking it around all over. I thought, there's no
needle phobia.
Yeah,
right
there's
there.
no way. Well, weirdly, I thought, oh yeah, because he's doing it by hand.
Yeah.
It's on the end of a stick, it'd be all right. But the minute I saw it, actually, I was super impressed with what he was able to do, like the patterns and stuff that he was doing. And my friend had one. It kind of looked like this Buddhist temple that we'd been to a couple of days before, and he'd had like the image, I guess the elevation of one of the sides of the Buddhist temple. He was in there for a long, long time. I guess it was only kind of that big. He was in there 6 hours maybe.
It's a long process. For me, it's the sound of the skin being picked up that I can't. It's like a little pick noise. Very much the same with that. Incredible. You still see those at some tattoo conventions. They will have a tattooer that comes and has a man laid down, and sometimes there's two people. One person's directing the needle and the other person's doing the pushing. I've completely forgotten what it's called. It was, I can't remember.
I've seen it with a little
hammer as well. Yeah,
like chiseling away.
Polynesian islands do that. Yeah, no, I'm not a fan either.
but Polynesian tattoos, they're normally large and covering a big space. Yeah. So they're all done.
Not all done like that. No, a lot of people do it by machine. Chris Higgins in Eastbourne specialises in that work, and he works by machine.
Right.
Also hand tools as well. And I think collects the original hand tools that people would use, interested in the history, of course. But you can find people that do specialise in that.
And is it
much quicker by machine?
Is it?
Yeah.
So even hitting it with a hammer, that doesn't speed it up?
No, I don't think so.
Now, the other thing I'd worry about getting a tattoo is that something that might be really cool now, in 10 years' time, A, won't look very good on me, but B, won't be very cool. Is there a bit of a risk when people get tattoos that are kind of fashionable at the time? There is a risk.
Very much so. We've seen eras come through, pocket watch eras. There was animals in hats and all kinds of things. Yes, you do very much run the risk of that. And as long as you don't get anything too heavy and you can't cover it. Although saying that, one of my artists is currently having his chest lasered so that he can have another artist tattoo over the top of that.
You can get it re-tattooed after later.
Yeah.
Do you know, that would be a massive thing, I reckon.
Yeah.
I reckon that I could see that becoming something, because then you could have a tattoo for as long as you want, laser it off and
it's
get another
really
one on top.
painful, and it can scar quite badly unless you go to a good shop to do it. There's a lot of tattoo reference books from artists back in the day. The general public will know of people like Ed Hardy and Sailor Jerry as an example for people to go, oh yeah, I understand that. But there's a wealth of incredible tattooers from early days, and people would have, other artists collect their work, collect acetate stencils that they would have made back in the day, and we would call them flash sheets. They're sheets of designs that they would have had on the wall. Tattooers will collect those now and put them into books and sell the books. So we have a lot of reference books at work, and that ranges through traditional styles, Japanese, everything. So we do, influence definitely comes from those, and they will be redone in people's styles forever. I guess there's only so many ways you can redraw things, but yeah, Everything's recycled.
No idea's original, right?
No, exactly. Everything will be recycled, taken from influence from something incredible back in the past. And if it's good, then why not?
Well, if it looks good on the person as well.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah, traditional tattoos are constantly reused. Your incredibly famous wolf tattoos or lady head images that if you were to show a good tattooer, they could say, oh, that artist did the original. Oh, I know where that book is. Oh, yeah.
I'd never really considered that.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Tell me about when you started Two Snakes then. 10 years.
10 years.
10 years
Crazy.
almost to the day, wasn't it?
February. We
February, of
opened
course. Yeah, I
on
remember.
Valentine's Day.
So 10 and a half years then.
Yeah, already.
How did it start? Where were you just before you started, and why did you decide to start your own? And
So I was working I'd been working in Eastbourne for 7.5 years, and I did my second 4-year apprenticeship there. I stayed, I repaid my learning and felt I wanted to move on. Maybe I could do something for myself. I didn't want to travel anymore was the main reason. I wanted to be in my hometown. I knew that with my experience, my contacts from guesting and working all over the world, that I could bring Hastings something it hadn't got. I left to work in Angelic Hill in Brighton for a year while I set up the shop. And
is that the one on the corner by the level, down the bottom?
it is near there,
Yeah.
yeah.
I lived opposite that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hell's Angels run.
Yeah.
It is one of the, I think, if not the oldest shop in Brighton, I'm not too sure. So it was an incredible experience to work there for a year. I did really enjoy it there, and I've got some lifetime friends now from there too, which is amazing. They actually helped me. The owner of that shop helped me set up and with supplies and things as well. It was a lot harder than I expected. I went in very blindly with not very much money, thinking, I can set up a studio with a few £1,000s. I stopped counting at 50,000. I don't know how much it was a lot. Luckily, I was able, Let's Do Business in Hastings are amazing. They helped me get a loan, which then was match funded by a creative grant. So I was able to get a match funded grant from the council, which helped me pay for a lot of things for the studio. I then came into some trouble with the council trying to get my change of use. Various communication problems, and I was 3 months set behind. I only had £200 left in my bank. I was going to lose the shop before opening. I was going to lose my flat because I couldn't pay my rent. Had a little breakdown, and then the council, luckily, and the creative grant said, well, we can't give you all this money and then you're not open. So we got our opening, literally got licensed the day before Valentine's Day, boom, flash day. It was amazing, and we hit the ground running. It was incredible. I have come across so many challenges. I've probably nearly lost the shop minimum 3 times, possibly up to 5 times over the years, which has been hard, and I've done it all by myself.
What were the challenges, if you don't mind me asking?
No, I don't mind.
Was it people leaving, or just
it was people most of the time. In my first year of business, unfortunately, my first artist and my husband had an affair. That was brilliant. So that took a lot to get through. The next year, the landlords decided that they didn't want to pay my business rates, even though it was in my contract that it was included in my rent. They changed my name with the council, and the council said, well, you're the occupier, you have to pay £12,000. I haven't got it. It's my second year. I haven't got £12,000.
Did you not get small business rates relief then?
I'm 0 rated. So what was happening there? No, we tried everything. A friend of my mother's helped. We measured the whole shop. We got it down to $4,500. I still had to pay it. So we went to the local MP, tried to get her to help.
Oh, which one though?
Thinking Amber Rudd, thinking she could go, stop this. She doesn't need to pay. What use is a contract that says your business rates are included when the council says no?
But if you're a small business and it's your only premises, you should qualify for small business rates relief. And if it's like a rateable value of £4,000, that's free. You shouldn't pay anything.
Exactly. So yeah, I had to pay.
Are you still paying it now?
No, luckily
Okay.
I did stop paying it.
But you didn't get that back.
No.
You should be able to get that back.
It was a long time ago. They chased me for the last part of it recently, and we said it's been too long. You can't legally.
Oh yeah,
so we got out
years,
of that.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. God, that's really. Well, maybe it's different then, but that seems
I got
wild.
jaw lock for 3 months, and had to see then spending more money to try and get my jaw
Because of
released
this or a separate
because
time?
of the stress
my
of
goodness.
that happening. I thought that was it. I'm going to lose everything if I've got to pay £12,000 that I don't have. It's a new business. What was the other thing? VAT. Tried to go VAT registered so I could pay myself to get a mortgage, and then couldn't afford a mortgage, couldn't afford the VAT on top of my tattoos. And then
Because essentially you just charged everyone 20% extra straight away.
I couldn't add the price on.
This is the problem with small businesses going VAT registered. Unless you're doing sort of business to business stuff with other VAT registered businesses, as soon as you go VAT registered, you're 20% more expensive than anybody else.
Yeah.
Because everyone else kind of does that little dance where they're below the threshold, however they do it. But yeah, as soon as you put over that, it's really difficult. And that's with every business that hits that threshold. If they're just skirting around it and they're not business to business, I think that needs to change.
It does. It crushed me because I ended up paying it out of my own pocket, and then immediately I'm in debt. And before I even knew what was happening. And it was all to try to make my business look good enough to just buy a house by myself. And I couldn't actually afford the mortgage repayments because of my age. I haven't got long to pay it back. Dare I say it? Yeah. Too old.
You're too old for a house.
Oh
no.
So yeah, I'm stuck. So,
tough.
no, it really is.
But tattooing something that I remember when, maybe it was like the 90s or the early 2000s when you had those pop stars going and getting, I don't know, is it Robbie Williams or something, or David Beckham? They go and get a tattoo by a guy somewhere in Europe, and it'd be in this huge cathedral, and the guy's in the middle, and the tattoo cost £400,000 or something. So I always imagine, tattoo artists being really well off because, if David Beckham's getting a £1 million tattoo, then,
Exactly. It glorified the industry, which then caused it to be saturated, which is what we're suffering now. There's so many shops, there's so many tattoos because they see this TV programs of it, London Ink, things like that. They think that you can earn loads of money. It's this amazing lifestyle, which it is. If you work hard, it can be. But the reality of it is I don't barely earn any money because of the bills are so high. You think music licenses, fire extinguishers, things like that I never even took into account that I would be paying for. My artists have to pay a percentage to the shop because we have a receptionist, we do social media, we supply all the consumables, I'm promoting so straight away a chunk of what they've earned out of that tattoo has already gone to the shop. And they have to pay their own taxes and their own rent and things. So it's definitely not a very well paid industry as people see on the TV. And if you're traveling to tattoo to advertise yourself, you're then flights, accommodation. You might not work that well. You might not get bookings. So yeah, it's very, very falsified when you see people like that earning thousands and thousands per tattoo. Some people are, don't get me wrong, they are able to do that. I couldn't live with charging someone that much, really.
I used to feel like that.
Nah.
But then I saw that people who were doing work that was nowhere near as good as the work that we were doing were charging way, way more than we were. And it took a couple of people to say, oh, thanks for this. But, I had 3 quotes and you were by far the cheapest. And I thought, well, I'm charging, similar to you. I've got my overheads. I've got, the materials. I've worked out how long it will take in labour, and I'm charging what I think's fair for that. And I never got taught business. I just had to learn it. I was never really building in any profit or any buffer or anything like that. And then I had a mentor, and he was saying, you never want to be the cheapest. If he said, ideally, if you're not the most expensive, then you got to ask yourself why, because quite often people will want to go with, unless you're ridiculously expensive, people will want to go with the most expensive because I can imagine, especially something like a tattoo that's permanent, you get that feeling of you going to the right place. It's almost reassuring, like the beer, reassuringly expensive.
Yeah, we are definitely high end. You are paying for my 23 years experience. I'm quite fast because of that as well. And you're paying for the education that we've gone out of our way to learn to bring you a better tattoo. We are high end in the area. I can't charge London prices, I don't feel.
Well, you probably could now, because I'd say that Hastings is probably 50% occupied with people who have moved down from London these days. So you might be able to, but... It's tough though, isn't it?
It is.
It's that moral quandary of, can I charge loads? But then the risk of it, if you put your prices right up, you might be really quiet.
Yeah. We have a lot of empathy for people as well. So we know that if you're working a normal job that you only get that much a month, that it takes you a long time to save up for these things.
But you invest in yourself when you get completely covered in tattoos. That's, it's as much as buying a nice car or van and stuff like that. So
that's it. People come in and we say our minimum charge is £70 because of what we're going to set up with, and then obviously our experience. A lot of people are like, oh my God, I'm not paying that. Oh, you're wearing a pair of New Balance, are you? They're £160. And
you'll have them 6 months.
Exactly. But people don't seem to register that, especially when it's a permanent item. And you're going to someone really good, you're going to have that amazing tattoo forever. Why would you go somewhere that isn't good quality for quality of work, linemanship and hygiene, just so you can have it for 20 quid? Mind-blowing. But we get that a lot.
Do you?
They don't understand. I do try and educate them. Good tattoos aren't cheap and cheap tattoos aren't good. It's a saying that we've thrown out there for years. I want to educate people, but it's hard sometimes when they're throwing abuse at you because how dare you charge them that much. But yeah, you're wasting all that money down the pub or clothing. This thing is on you till you die.
Yeah, it's a conversation I have with a lot of people that come on this. It's how do you convince people to see the value in the work that you're doing?
Yeah.
Because what you're offering them isn't just tattoo, it's a value proposition. You're saying, look, you're going to have the best thing that you're going to get anywhere locally, but you do need to pay a tiny bit extra for it.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to convince a lot of people to do.
Yeah, very much so.
We tackle that by sort of thinking, I'd be able to tell if a customer's a customer for us within about 3 seconds on the phone, I reckon, because when people would phone up and say, oh yeah, I need a new kitchen, or not 3 seconds, that's an exaggeration, 20 seconds all day long. So 20 seconds in, if they've asked about how much it is, or I've seen it cheaper elsewhere, or I've been here and their kitchens are like that, or whatever we're making, I know straight away they're not our customer. And I go out of my way to really politely tell them, not insist, but sort of say to them, look, you might be better off going if you've seen furniture in MFI or they're gone now, wherever,
Age.
showing my age, aren't I?
Yep.
Well, if you've seen a kitchen in, I don't know, what are they even called places where you buy kitchens now? Wicks. If you've seen a nice kitchen in Wicks or a nice bedroom furniture in Wicks, and it's $3,000 or whatever, get it. Will be a lot more than that.
Yeah.
But it'd be much better. But if that's your budget, you should definitely get that or save up. And I know straight away, if someone wants the real quality, the questions that they're asking are, what materials do you use? What's your process? What's your lead time? Will you fit it? Is there any kind of warranty? Because they care about what they're buying. And for me, I can tell straight away if someone is approaching us because they want us to do the job because they care about the product that they're buying, or they just want that. The other side of it is they just want that thing. They want it as quick and cheap as possible. Okay. Don't care who they're going to get it from. They just want it the cheapest. I want that. It's that throwaway culture. Yeah. You can't afford to have throwaway culture in tattoo though, because it's not something you throw away.
Not at all.
Well, not without a lot of pain.
And especially when they're visible as well. It's crazy. The other thing we come up against is now there's a fashion for visible T-shirt tattoos, we call them. Hands, necks. They want those things done first. They're in a hurry. They want it cheap. Why don't you get your arms done first? See how people approach you and look at you differently before you get those things that they're just going to see and they're only going to look at. So again, I do spend a lot of time trying to educate people because they don't know. And hopefully one out of the lot might listen to me. We do get people do that and they appreciate the time that you spend with them to explain. Other people are just in, like you say, in a hurry. I want it now. I must immediately have a hand tattoo right now that looks like a glove. I've only just done mine last year.
How was it?
Pain-wise, it was okay. It swelled up like a balloon. But she's going to hate me for saying this. My mother, on Mother's Day, I took her for dinner and she just looked at my hands and went, "They're gross." Thanks, Mum. I get called disgusting a lot. I hear comments. I get looked at in disgust a lot, which is why I explain to people, your life will change. You may think, I don't care, it's fine, the world's changed. You go in for that bank interview to try and get your mortgage. You go and pick up your kids from school at the parents' evening, and people will judge you because it used to be sailors and criminals back in the day. The visible tattoos do make you slightly different. And I have a responsibility to tell you get your fingers tattooed. They're on show. That's the first thing you see when you meet someone and shake their hand. When I would go to rent a flat, I would completely cover up, high neck, the lot. Because
Michael Jackson gloves.
Yeah. Because essentially they're going to take a look at me and go, scumbag, I don't want you in my house.
Really?
Rather than professional, she looks good, trustworthy, I'll have her in my house because they judge you. I'm a lovely person. If you don't know me and you just see me in the street covered head to toe in tattoos, you are going to judge me. So that is another thing along with the costs that we come up against regularly.
But they're becoming more and more complex. When we touched on it earlier, but I went on holiday last month, got the flight over to Ibiza, and I tell you what, that has changed a lot. The guys on the plane, some of them were staying in our hotels, and I thought, they're covered. It was interesting you said about t-shirt tattoos. They had like tattoos up the side, around the back of their ear, down their necks and across like that, and it was really intimidating when you see a guy who's quite muscly and they got neck tattoos going up the side, up their sideburns and around the back of their ears. You think, my God, I felt intimidated by it. But a couple of them were staying at the same sort of place as us, and when they got their t-shirts off, no other tattoos. It's like, why would you do that first?
Because they want to look intimidating. That's the whole point of it.
One or two of them had things on their hands like a mandala or something like that. But it was like, That's
Yeah.
crazy that the first place that you get is the place that people are going to probably judge you on the fastest, and probably with a negative skew.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely. So if you go to a tattoo convention, everyone there is obviously covered. People that are genuinely into the tattoo culture will start with their arms first, then you go on to legs and torso, then you will go to the more visible things. A good tattooer won't tattoo you in anything visible unless you have a lot of coverage. So you know what it's like to be looked at like that. And that you're making the correct decision. Most of the people that are so heavily tattooed are the nicest people in the world. They're incredible, friendly people, because that's not what they're doing it for. Whereas, a lot of people do it to look intimidating. Some people do it because they don't want people to interact with them. There could possibly be some mental health things through tattooing as well.
Another thing that I've always found with the tattoo community is that there's not so much judgment and stuff, but I remember hanging out with a group of guys and they were covered in tattoos. Like a couple of my mates in Brighton, Paul, had all Brazilian tattoos and stuff. He's from Brazil, he's Brazilian or Portuguese, Brazilian, whatever, covered in tattoos. We went to Morocco or something, and we were surfing on the beach. He got out, obviously in his shorts, whatever, tattoos everywhere. And these other guys with tattoos kind of looking at him, and he's looking at them, and they're looking. It's like this standoff. We walked past, and I was like, what's that all about? He's like, oh, they've got like a different style of tattoo that means like such and such. And it's not like gang tattoos, but I was like, what? But he was sort of saying that those kind of tattoos that those guys have got is almost like the opposite of why he's got his tattoos, and it's like this big divide. And I was like, surely it's just all
a lot of people want to make a statement. There again, there is the whole culture with gang tattoos that I wouldn't really understand, but other gang members from opposite gangs can see straight away, and you know who is who. It's an identity as well. Yeah,
but that's something that I think a lot of people lean into, is that, I mean, I know a couple of people who are like, I hope they're not watching, but like boring estate agents, one minute, and then it come back a year later and they're covered in tattoos, a lot of visible ones as well, completely transformed their lives. They're now living this, but it's like the whole persona. Maybe the whole time they felt like that's who they wanted to be.
Yeah.
But maybe they've sort of thought, well, if I do all this, suddenly I've got a community that I can be accepted in.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, with one of them in particular, I was like, oh man, I felt like that's sad that you felt like you had to do that to be part of that. But at the same time, I was thinking about it earlier, knowing that you were coming in, thinking, actually, I wonder if that's how he wanted to look the whole time, and then just had the confidence to do it, and then just went and did it.
Yeah.
But I did wonder if it's
a lot of, again, social media and TV programs have made it look like we've noticed a complete flip where suddenly tattoos are really attractive. So a lot more men have been completely getting tattooed, and I've noticed over the years men saying that they find women with a lot of tattoos attractive. Bonus for me, finally. So yeah, there was a switch up in that, because I don't think it's ever used to be. A lot of punks used to have it. It used to be a very alternative. Fuck you.
Yeah,
kind of
system.
Attitude towards
like
it.
Anarchy and stuff.
Very much so. And now it's, like you say, mainstream, normal. But it is allowing people to express themselves a lot more. And like you say, it is interesting to think about that. Maybe he did want to express himself the whole time and didn't have the confidence to do it. I have to admit that I have just had my back piece done, and the confidence it's given me has changed my life.
Really?
It makes me a little bit upset.
Really?
Yeah.
So how's it? I mean, you can't even see it. It's on
no,
your
I
back.
know, that's really frustrating. It's so beautiful as well. Everything I wear is backless now.
But it's given you the confidence to wear those backless things,
Yeah.
because you know you've got that.
Yeah, obviously, when you've been tattooed a lot and you have a few spaces, all you can see are those gaps.
Really?
So if I wore a backless dress to a wedding, I'd be like, oh my God, my back is bare. The whole experience for me as well went into it. I'm on my own. I travelled to this incredible artist in America. Never been to America. Never driven an automatic car. I had to hire an automatic car. That was probably the scariest bit.
Once you drive one, you never want to go
I
drive
know, it's
anything
really
else.
nice.
You never want to go back.
I didn't drive with music till the third day, just concentrating so much. It took 3 men to show me in the airport car park how to turn it on.
How to mansplain it to you.
Yeah, it was scary. I asked one of them to come with me, but he didn't. An artist called Victor Webster. And we flew into San Francisco, and I drove 3 hours into the Redwood Forest. His beautiful studio
In the forest?
in the forest. There were hummingbirds outside the window. I did 2 days in a row, 5 hours of tattooing each day. It was the whole experience. I was there for 3 days, and then I flew home again. So that in itself gave me this confidence that I can do those things by myself and it's okay, and to go through that much pain for so long as well. I had been saving for 3 years for this, and I feel myself. It's so beautiful. I want to show it off all the time. I'm going to hate winter this year. And I think, being completely covered front head to toe, but then having my last piece, my whole bottom and back completely bare was not right. But I knew it had to be a whole piece, and I did it.
How did you select the artist for it?
I've been following him for years. I love his work. It's so beautiful. He does very organic, botanical and animal work. Just through connections, I think. And again, social media, you're able to see all these, you've got access to people in different countries now. Whereas before it was just by tattoo magazines. You would send your work on a CD into these magazines, and you were really lucky if it was published, and then you get that every month, and that's how you would see other people. I think then MySpace became a good connection. So when we got the internet,
showing our age
I know,
here.
it's terrible. When we got the internet, but now Instagram, there are incredible artists everywhere. It's amazing. And I try to express to customers, travel, go to them. I went to San Francisco to get my back piece done because I wanted him to do it. My whole sleeve was done by Pedro, my friend now, who has helped me learn traditional tattooing in Portugal. And I go work out there every year because of that contact. If you want that person's work, travel to them. If not, ask me. I'll ask them to come here. They'll guest at my shop, hopefully. And then you can have access. But don't just go to your local cheap tattoo around the corner. You have the world at your fingertips here now. And there are some incredible people. And it's forever. Get stunning work on you forever and be proud to show it off.
Where is the most painful? I mean, obvious,
everywhere.
genitalia aside, like where's the most painful place to get tattooed?
I found my feet were quite sore.
Oh, you told me about this years ago.
Yeah, I did not enjoy that.
I remember, and I think I remember you saying that it's only going to last a certain amount of years because the skin sheds.
I've actually tattooed people where they say that underneath wasn't as bad as their ribs.
Right. As their ribs.
So different people, different pain thresholds for sure. I love tattooing feet. They're my favourite place to tattoo, but they're very sensitive.
Is that because the skin's softer and thinner and
thin? Then anything on your torso is horrendous because obviously your internal organs are there and your body is giving you a warning. You're in pain. Get off, and it's pretty bad. I just had my armpit tattooed. That wasn't nice.
There's so many nerve endings there.
Yeah, I actually cancelled my next appointment and said I'll be back next year. I just need that was 2 weeks after the back piece though, so I think I'd overdone it. I'm trying. I was booked in to get the roof of my mouth tattooed recently, but I messed up the appointment.
How does that even?
Hand poke. I presume I'm upside down.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I will go and get it done. I've been following this artist for a very long time, and I did want my eyelids tattooed by him.
Made me feel faint. That has.
You could have anything tattooed. People are having their gums tattooed.
I remember seeing. I think someone had BMX tattoo somewhere around here, didn't they? BMX. There you go.
That was done terribly years ago.
But that changes over time though, because of the skin's replenishing quite quickly there, isn't it?
Yeah, it blows out it's quite hard to tattoo. I've done a lot of them in my time. It's more hard to have the lip open and the person's laughing too much because of it.
Because it tickles.
Just because you look silly with your lip, like we've tried taping them down and holding them down and you're just giggling really. But
and I know a couple of people who've got ears, their tattoos across the tops of their ears and stuff like that.
I've got spider webs on the back of my ears.
Have you?
Everyone said it wouldn't hurt. It did hurt. Everything hurts. I'm very sensitive.
But yet you completely.
There's been a lot of tears over the years.
Really?
Yeah, there has.
But yet you still do it knowing how painful it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really interesting.
There are creams that you can get that do numb the skin now.
Do you take a lot of painkillers before you go in as well?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. I don't know if they work. A placebo, if anything, or it helps with the swelling afterwards, maybe. But the trouble with the creams is that they wear off quite quickly and it hurts so much more as you're progressing through the tattoo because suddenly all your nerves come back and it makes the skin very swollen to start with. So for us to tattoo into it, it doesn't heal as well because essentially the idea of tattooing in the skin is so that it swells up and it holds it in. Whereas if you're already swollen, it's not the colour won't be as rich.
That's a good point, actually. There's quite a lot of aftercare that goes into a tattoo once you've had it done, isn't there?
Obviously, I've tried everything over the years. I've experienced everything. I've had infected tattoos. So I'm able to give very good aftercare advice. Whether the person adheres to it is another thing. But yeah, obviously I like to wrap people up overnight because you're going to stick to the bed. Your bed's not going to be clean, even if it's clean sheet.
Cling film.
Yeah, you can get second skin now, which is something that can last, I think, a week or so.
That balloons up.
It
sort of balloons up, that stuff.
I don't trust where the gunk goes. It's like withdrawn back into your skin. I couldn't actually get mine off for like a week and a half. I couldn't find the edges, soaking it. I was like, I don't want to ever do that to a customer because I panicked and I'm experienced. So you have to think what's best for someone at home that doesn't know. I'm very there for my customers, any problems, any questions. I'd rather know than not know because I've experienced it all. I've had horrendous things like my leg blew up so big from an infection. I couldn't put my foot to the ground for 3 weeks.
Oh my God.
Because of the pain. And it all crusted up and it didn't have any colour. It was just a black crust. And I was like, oh my God, what's happened?
Did you pick it off?
No, I did not. Absolutely not. I didn't want to touch it. Obviously, you keep it clean. It's healed well. I've still got some colour. There's some scarring in it. But people can put too much moisturiser on. That will then collect germs and become infected. So people can over look after their tattoos or under look after. And summertime, they all want their tattoo a week before they go away on holiday and go in the sea and go in the pool, sit out in the sun, which also scars them. So things like that. In the summer, when they book in, we tend to say, are you going on holiday? Just to...
I tell you what, I used to surf with a chap that you would know who had a tattoo of a ship, and he had a tattoo of a ship and the waves were pumping the next day, and he came for surf and we were all joking saying, you know, your ship's going to look like it's sunk now. Just like, I think it was on his chest or stomach around here, and he took his wetsuit off and we were all like, oh God, you shouldn't have got in today.
No, that
He looked a little
awful.
bit, I wonder what happened to him actually. He moved away.
So my hand tattoos, finger tattoos, wearing gloves at work, every time I would put the glove on, you take it off, it would rip it would take the fresh scab off, so it would be open and porous again. So
How you didn't like washing up and stuff at home and clean
gloves,
your teeth. Oh my
everything.
goodness.
Just bigger gloves that are loose, so they're not sticking to them. It's honestly, I'll show you the photo of my hand afterwards. It's horrible. Why do I do this?
Why do you do
I
it?
don't know. I actually had hypnotism once because I was having my ribs tattooed and I was interested in any kind of pain relief. So I got hypnotized. It was incredible. I only felt his hands, didn't feel the pain at all. I had a CD of her listening, and I've completely forgotten where we were going with that.
You're telling me that you were hypnotised to help with the pain, maybe.
Yeah. What was the point, though?
That's why you do it.
Oh. She asked my subconscious, is there any reason you don't want to be tattooed? And my subconscious, I didn't answer her. My subconscious answered that there wasn't, which has led me into being fascinated with the consciousness now. But yeah, I think my parents had tattoos. Maybe that's what interested me. I was in the kind of BMX scene when I was younger. A lot of them had music scene. Everyone had tattoos. The alternative state of me back then. I think that's what led me into it. Then once you start getting a few, you start seeing the gaps. I remember at a Portugal convention, she's now a friend of mine, I saw a girl walk towards me and her legs were covered and she looked insane. I was like, I want to look like her. She's so beautiful. And I've actually got way more now. And yeah, I finally feel amazing.
Good for you. Do you think, I know you're doing a lot of CrossFit and stuff, do you think that helps as well?
Yeah, definitely. I recently took up paddle like a psycho as well, and that's very addictive. I think I've been into very extreme sports, snowboarding. I played squash when I was younger. My family have always been into high energy. I'm very high energy myself. Yeah, I think so. Definitely to build my confidence. Keeping fit has helped. Definitely. And I'm actually going to start up a catering company, a small catering company where I want to push healthier food. And I'm not going to quit tattooing. I'm going to do it alongside it. It's just, I think food has always interested me. Healthier food as well to go with the fitness that I've always done. And I will be launching that in August, hopefully, called Fed, Fedd, Box Catering.
Is that going to be like meal prep, fitness meal prep?
No, possibly in the future, more catering for parties, picnics, things like that, things that I really enjoy. I struggle if I go to a party that everything is beige and the guilt afterwards that I haven't eaten so well and how it makes me feel. So, and if I'm sticking to my macros for my training, there's a lot of guilt that comes along with it. So I don't know if anybody offers a healthier option for that. Children's parties, things like that, healthier food. I think as a culture, we're starting to come into that more. I want to offer that to people. Just
at the right time. I think it's necessary.
Hopefully.
And what if you could give 18 or 17-year-old, let's say, a little bit of advice, knowing what you know now, what advice would you give? Don't drink alcohol, firstly. Ever? Full stop, or just moderate? For me, yes. I quite an addictive personality, and a lot of things in my past that I struggle to cope with. I've actually been sober for 20 months now, and it is life-changing for me. Not only the fitness, I'm able to regulate everything constantly. I now have so much energy that I want to do this new business. I'm alive again. I feel like I've woken up from a coma. It was that destructive for me, which is amazing. Tattooing wise, I think my path in tattooing has been incredible.
the people that I've met, the people that support me at the studio are amazing. My team is so good right now. I'm so grateful for every single person in there. It's amazing. Love life wise, shocking. There's a lot of advice for the young me there.
And if people want to find you, where can they find you?
Tearfully, sorry. Oh my God. Sorry, the shop
Not at the end of a bar anymore.
Yeah, not the end of a bar. Oh my God. twosnakestattoo.com. Instagram, Two Snakes Tattoo. My personal is Alexis Camburn. I also have a cooking Instagram, which is cookbook_collector. The new business, which is Fed, FEDD, box catering. And then you can find all my incredible artists through the Two Snakes Tattoo. The website is linked to our Instagram, so you can have a look at the people's work, all the different styles we do, all the events that we do. We have a really cool party coming up at the Brewing Brothers Brewery with Goodman's Barbers, because it's both our 10-year anniversary this year.
Of course, yeah, you both start at the same time.
Amazing. They actually started in the Trinity Triangle area as well.
I remember I built a load of furniture.
Oh, did you? Excellent. Yeah. So it's something really special, and that should be a really cool party. We set up, we have normally 4 tattooers up there tattooing all day long till 9 o'clock at night at the brewery. Yeah, at the brewery.
That's my old workshop.
Oh,
where they
is
are.
it?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's where we went after when we moved out of the Observer building. We went up there where they are now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, they were in the what was the Metalworks. We were in when they first moved. They moved in when we moved out, but they, I think, went out to a wine company now.
They do,
because they sort of moved from one spot to the other. But looks a bit nicer up there now that they're in there.
It's brilliant, and it's such a good venue. Like the parties with the tattooing, and they're going to have barbers up there as well. It's so much fun. It really is. They'll have barbecue, the food there, obviously all their great beer. I'm really excited. So
It's a really nice community. That the Brewing Brothers, the barbers, it feels just like you guys there as well. It just feels there's a lot of good positive vibes going on.
And we do events with Beacon Tail Butchers as well. Which
they're kind of new, aren't they?
Yeah,
and have you started eating meat now then? Because you were vegan for a long time.
Yes. I hit 40 and I went to San Sebastian and I wanted the ham, sadly.
And the prawns and the steak.
Oh my God, I know.
What a place.
I haven't ventured back yet. Oh. But Beacon Tail have moved into Trinity Triangle as well. We've also got the bakery. It's a Stooge coffee shop. The area is amazing.
Yeah, it's a good little hub.
Independent shops.
What Brighton used to... That's what was good about Brighton, and now you've got it there.
Yeah, I love it. And I'll be working with Beacon Tail Butchers with the new business as well. And I love that we all go to each other and we're all really supportive of each other. Like I say, I've done this business and my new business on my own, and I am on my own. I don't have anyone to talk to. My family don't understand. I can't talk to my staff about financial issues, things like that. So actually... other people that have small businesses have been amazing to talk to, so supportive of me, and helping each other do these events for promotion is amazing. And it's really good fun. Come and get tattooed.
Well, Alexis, thank you so much. It's been really eye-opening, a little bit cringeworthy at points for me because I'm just... it's just the top of the mouth thing. I can't stop thinking about that now.
I'll show you when I have it done.
No, please don't. But Alexis, honestly, that has been great. Really, really interesting. I wish you the best of luck. Catch you at the Brewing Brothers.
Yes.
What other tattoo conventions are you doing this year?
That's it. We only tend to do Bristol.
Just Bristol.
Yeah, I think we are, as a group, we're going to venture out more and do a few. We've been talking about it.
Okay.
So
watch this space.
Yeah, keep an eye out for all the guest artists that we have as well. Not that you'll come get tattooed yet.
Not yet.
Welcome.
Maybe I need to get that hypnotist number.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because there's definitely a subconscious reason for me being scared of needles. Yeah. Definitely.
You don't see anything.
Oh, don't. I couldn't.
It's that bad.
It's that bad. Anyway, Alexis, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.